well, a little bit of, I would be saying. Dark Vomit was back again with IGG for the Encore with some more buttons over in here. And I have to do the usual stuff in the background first, because gee, what the hell. So yeah, that's now there. The thing is, I need something else there, there, and then go over to GitHub, because I don't have it set in here, the usual. Also, when was the last time I did stuff? It has to be Friday, which is pretty much literally last month. So on that aspect, it is there where I applied height combo on new 2DX judgment. That was the last thing that I did. What I did additionally is maybe finally fix screen evaluation, error stats position, and max width. More on that later. Switchability to choose between normal and SPS node grab. And if nodes are counted 1/all per row. That's pretty much something, because I have select 2 within there. Depending on stuff, if one is switching over from the old one may have to adjust some stuff, because yeah, certain things are just a bit off. Whoops. And I didn't bother with pretty much having it down fix. I may add that one a little bit later, but whatever. Add FA plus score to the summary. That was something. Next thing, some little animation fixes here and there. Well, there were certain things that were pretty much needing that. Especially since they weren't even getting them as well, but should be potentially having. Depending if there are some more needing, that might come in later. So next thing, I now know when exactly Outfocus doesn't apply my gameplay margins fix anymore. Yeah, there is something regarding that with the margin function within, I think it was player. And I think Outfox said, now we are going to fix that one ourselves, because there will be certain things needed anyway. So on that way, that's been there then. So yeah, and because of that, yeah, it's not being applied anymore. That's the reason why I have a node field zoom outfox version, and I'm also checking that one correctly as well because of that. And I also know which version it was. It was actually within the first year of Outfox, a little bit later. It was even still while there were still Stepmania 5.3. Also, the last thing that I did, which was today, fix some help tags. And maybe noticeable in here, mainly regarding to pushing like up, down, left, right and whatnot. Sometimes I have a slash of in here in term, or an and if it's pretty much either or can be pressed for stuff. For like selection and or something. I pretty much just made it all just space in between. So that is left or right. Anything else, like a certain something else, like up down for the sword and everything, they have been applied. One thing that I may need to go over, because like here, it is not up or down to switch difficulty, it's just having it happen once. And with that, yeah, pretty much have it there. And on that aspect, depending, I may need to check for how many times it has been there for me to pretty much have it there and or whatnot. Not sure. Either way, yeah, that is all that. And I'm going through in here. Also, I'm not really sure if I have stuff positioned correctly, quote unquote. Also, I now know the reason why stuff is now set as just 2. Because everything in here has been unset. And yeah, in terms of things, it's M immediately coming afterwards. Also, we are going straight in for some bullshit. Also, depending on stuff, I may have everything accidentally set to... I think it's pretty much for me, just... Yeah, it is not applied, if I remember correctly. So, I will be going through over in here what I have put different... Yeah, it's downstairs. So, yeah, pretty much... Yeah, just as a something over in here, because I don't have enough space for he. Yeah, normal is pretty much, nodes per second within that second. And here, because it's SPS, it's steps per second, because it's between each step, like, if one and another node are pretty much like that for the entire step chart, how many steps per second would that be? Especially for that section over there, which is the reason why it is not cleanly stuff. So yeah, pretty much for that. Also in terms of here, pretty much, I would be potentially saying this one maybe for keyboard, this one maybe for pad, because, yeah, potentially to see where stuff goes quick, so to speak, because there it accounts for the total nodes within the row. Here it's just 1. So one can see where a whole lot of nodes are going to come. And pretty much, yeah. Also in terms of everything else, do I have anything else changed? No, doesn't seem like it. And everything else is there. The usual. I still haven't put this one over. Pretty much mainly because I am just not yet. I may not even show it off because apparently he might not even be there. And yeah, even if I would like to have a reason to show stuff off, so in that aspect, have it here. Also in terms of everything, do I have this on? I think so. Or maybe? Don't think so. How long does it... it's the first one, so of course. I can't do this. Also, another something over in here. The load times in here, I can blame Windows for that. Because it just keeps on happening. And by Windows, I mean Windows Defender. Because stuff just keeps on going in here. This time I can't even check if that's actually the case. Either way, continue, and let's get some small stuff here first. Oh, it's dead. Really sure if it's just not showing or if I accidentaled with a PNG gauntlet. Yeah, all the stuff over in here is not only modified in terms of potentially the aspect ratio, but everything else has been compressed as well. Yeah, pretty much everything in terms of all the files that I can compress. Just to pretty much make sure that it can actually go lower. Also, yeah, just as a heads up, because it will be the case again. I haven't fixed any grade zeros or anything with zero. Seriously, this is the easiest one. Kinky asses. It's one of those at the beginning. Didn't we had that one once before? Yeah, fuck off. Keep on saying it, the maximum one can be having as the easiest one is level 6. Otherwise I would be potentially saying level 4 just to make sure. That rhyming was unintentional. Nothing else downstairs is on par, well that's something else.
There's love in the air, like the sunshine in your heart. There's love in the air, like the sunshine in your heart.
Is it another Toho remix? Because this one I couldn't recognize. Double take in here. Something I can actually go through quickly. Somewhat. A whole lot to be in here. that, please. Okay, can I pretty much see what the hell had happened there? Or if there had been anything. No, I'm not really sure what the hell happened. Very much not sure. So either way, yeah, going over in here because of course. Also, yeah, in terms of something else over in here. I said something when I was showing off FA Plus that stuff wasn't updated properly here. I found the reason. The update might be actually incoming pretty much the next day, I would be potentially saying, so keep an eye out on that one for anyone who is pretty much following along closely on stuff in here. Yeah, that is the one thing where I said, yeah, more on that later. I forgot about that one, whoops. Another something which I'm not sure if it's going to be doable, even though it may be, I'm not sure. It depends. It may not be because of this genre. fuck off with all this. Bit too much. Which may be the reason why it's actually an 8, not a 7. Banana SPS. Okay, what the hell is with that 6? That's actually an 8. Not sure what's going on there. The fucking here. I am assuming someone tried to do something in terms of making an easier file, and this was the best result. Depending if that was actually the case, what I just said, well, somewhat I would be assuming. Except for the reason that there may be a bit much in here. Again with a 0. be potentially saying it may be a 7, if not an easy 8, because of some bullshit. This is the easiest one in here on either way, so I will be fading immediately. Close to immediately. Solo. Then TOMA. Versus even. Yeah. I keep on saying it. 4 or 6. It's the max for the easiest. Otherwise, you don't deserve to make anything anymore. Well, that's going to be at least something. Is that a counter against me or what? I think I know what is happening here. It has a stage file, but the stage file should only be there for the beginning part. Like pretty much being the background, and should be changed once anything comes in here. Not sure if this has been fixed yet, or if this is just an error on my end for something because I forgot to configure something. But if I forgot something, they forgot it within their fallback. Are you ready? And it's ending. What? Seriously? So yeah. Let's see if it is here as well. Maybe because stuff is happening too early, it didn't have the opportunity to disappear. isn't that much of a difference, but if that is actually the case, then why has it been set as 3 even though it's not really that? It might be an easy 5 then, potentially, so... In terms of something, I'll say it afterwards. Okay, pretty much. If stuff is almost 1-to-1 from the next difficulty, seriously, there was no point for an easier one in here. Since in terms of the overall difficulty, well, at least it has one more section that it's... Actually, in terms of stuff, there is even a little bit... Well, actually, certain things have been moved, apparently. Should be in here. Seriously, there isn't much of a difference, and certain things are just pretty much unchanged. That aspect, what's the point? Let's just patterns. Yeah, nothing much to say. Hey, it is pretty much almost the same thing as well. Only the beginning section has just something that is a bit added. Otherwise, it's almost 1-to-1. If you're being this lazy, fuck's sake. more ammo for me to complain about. Okay, on to the other one because it's pretty much almost unchained, except there is another extension to the beginning. Pretty much doubling that part, everything else is pretty much unchanged. Except for literally the patterns. Also, there's quite a bit in there. Jeez, whole bunch. That's a... What the hell is going on there at the end? Sheesh. Still, going over in here. Oh, counts as long because it's a few seconds over. In terms of stuff, this one should be also doable. want to be there, then... I had this from somewhere. I was interested until the dubstep came in. The only way for me to pretty much like something, especially as a BMS, is if the dubstep department is pretty much isolated within key sounds. Then pretty much one can delete those and everything should be fine then. The only question is, can one recompile something over in here without stuff like sound mastering to occur? By that I pretty much mean the bad kind in terms of its peaking and everything. Also, in terms of things, I think it will be the first one where I will be pretty much... I think I said something. At least one real one afterwards. Certain songs are not playing. sure if certain things are actually being played and everything. Also, next time, which will be next week, because tomorrow won't be a stream, because I already have everything the day before, so pretty much that's there. So, well, there is at least a section that should be doable, but afterwards, meh. That's very much a no. So yeah. Maybe 8, 9. Because it's out of my range, I can't really judge on stuff there. Also, geez, the usual. I have it here, that's the only one. At least something that is pretty much just on a doable range. Who the fuck did those, did the background video for this one? Sheesh, what the fuck? But it has only been shown at the very end there, because sheesh, what the fuck? PrayStation, I think we had that one somewhere already. Nah, multiple places, I think. So... those awful rhythms. Very much on the questionable stuff in here. I thought I heard something in the background. I'm not sure if that is the case, because if that's the case, I can't hear stuff the usual. That's a whole bunch. That was about to say something. Again, something that hasn't been loaded, I would be guessing. That section was a little bit unfitting for whatever reason. Also, another something regarding loading. There is an update incoming, and with that, a whole bunch of other problems depending ? So, depending on those, it very much depends on things. If it's going to be an actual push for newest version, actually. It has been said that it might be actually for Steam, which will be tomorrow, and on that part, until then, it should be there. So on that part, next time, stuff may be here. But on that assumption, there could be other problems. I said that one already. Sheesh, I am just repeating myself. Certain problems that I'm pretty much saying is because of the fact that Stepmania as well as Outfox itself is not loading stuff correctly either way. Where do I have stuff? Yeah, that is the stuff over in here. All songs data redirects to stuff from Alpha 4. because of me checking for loading with my step cache. I am actually going through step mania on everything. Actually, seem that can be considered a no, as well as the, I'm not even sure if that has that. Actually, that is all being redirected to over there, so that should be considered fully there. So yeah, this version has a total, or I would be potentially saying at the time of stuff in there, a total of 7,491 step charts. The version before that, 0419, so pretty much the LTS version, 7,499. The Steam Deck, nah, pretty much one can just not even have it there because that's something else entirely. I checked stuff, and even there it's pretty much different, and I would be actually assuming that within the dev build, within versions, I may have actually added stuff, but even on there, A39, it's pretty much the same thing as 0419 is 7,499, and A40, the next version on that, it only has 7,486. Actually, on that point, it might be because of their having some stuff that was before I cleaned up house on certain ones that weren't supposed to even be there. I'm not even sure if that's what has been not included, but depending on stuff may not be included, which may also be the case for he, depending on stuff either way. Very much depends, because also have a double check in here, have it there, and I'm going to do a double there, and both are on long, although it shouldn't really count as such. he. And what's on the other one? So in terms of drinking, I already have my stuff emptied already. I need to keep. There's always bullshit somewhere. Hello? Nothing to load. Okay, something for me to pretty much erase in here, so that is actually the case. Oops, on that one. The stuff will be lowered here as well. Can I even do this one during here? I was about to say, is it supposed to be this empty? Much going on in here. Is it snapshot the stars we gaze along the way? Took apart, that's what I had in my mind. on just to make the single grade. That's already quite decimation on stuff. Also, I said stuff in terms of where do I even have stuff? It is yeah, it's pretty much sorted as that, and that is Stargazer. Stargazer, pretty much where is it there? Is it just B? Seems to be that. Yeah, I seem to have found it already. So for things over in here, I have it there, and have you gone? Yeah, that is the reason why I did not want to go over there. Because it's already gone. Oh, god damn it there. Also, most of the stuff over in here are at the end. The hell? I even had them and I wasn't paying attention there. Okay, I saw that, but I did not hear that. God damn it. The usual. Ah, sheesh. Nothing else in the usual. Also, so this counts as that. Why has this been set as 8? Some bullshit going on? Maybe some whole bullshit. Okay. The only reason stuff may be difficult is pretty much because of the holes. I was thinking about this going to happen since there were holes at the beginning. And I think this is also a hole chart since this is the... I almost want to say this is the only one that has them. Nah, it had been before that as well, but still... something that's been set as a 1 but is actually a 2 or pretty much a hard 1 or an easy 2. La la la. Depends. The Pennsylvanias. What? It was so easy, I got a PFC. That's something. Also, I think with the new node grab system that I have, I forgot to mention that one over in here. I have also fixed, or pretty much, yeah, fixed something with an SPS though. There it is pretty much displaying, and it's mostly only accurately doing that if they are close together. If not, they will be barely existent. So in terms of stuff, I have it set to such a way where the minimum it is going to display is the amount of nodes. Otherwise is the SPS that's been calculated for what happened there. That's one way to pretty much fix it, I think it's okay. And in terms of everything else, I may need to go through over these 7. Not as awful anymore. in the coming days I have a dentist appointment. I said stuff last time already regarding that. I very much hope that stuff is going on there. Also, is it actually an end? Because it may be only a little bit. Also, I just now noticed something else, so whoops on that part. God damn it. Okay, pretty much counts as that. Also, since I'm here, get that shit back down to -15. Fuck's sake, I wasn't paying attention at that one. I usually check up on that one before the stream starts.